Hi, friends. So, Waking Not Woke, I don't know, we're like 10, 12 videos in. I think we have almost 20 in the hopper, maybe more. And some of the feedback I've got is that the content is amazing, but a half an hour to over an hour might be a little long for a video. So, episode 6 was an hour and 3 minutes. An hour and 3 minutes that is so worth it. I mean, it was rich. I recommend if you've got an hour, if you can find an hour, watch episode 6. But I understand that that isn't something everyone can, you know, find, isn't an extra hour to sit and watch a video. So I cut it into a bunch of pieces. This is kind of meant to be the last one. They are all dealing with Brett's teaching on Matthew 15, starting in verse 21, the faith of the Canaanite woman. You can either just read that story for yourself, or you can watch the video titled Jesus Called Her a Dog, which is like an 8-minute video on the teaching that all the rest of these breakouts are based on. So go ahead and give that one a watch, and then come back and watch this one. Put in your comments, take the time to reflect, send us an email. We want to hear from you. If this content has been meaningful to you, we want to know about it. And of course, you can always click the like, subscribe, and be notified buttons to let us know what this has meant to you. So without further ado, here it is.
A couple questions. This is from my experience and also from Robin DiAngelo mentions it in her book. Think about white people. I encourage you. Think about your own beliefs and attitudes and other white people you know, and ask this question. Do white people you know have opinions about racism? Are those opinions strong? And my question is, why? Why do you have strong opinions about race and racism? And how informed are you, really? Robin DiAngelo says, every white person she's ever met has a strong opinion about racism, and they are largely uninformed. And this speaks to what you guys are talking about. Mm-hmm. We are not taught to listen. Just to make it personal, it took me dozens and dozens of stories, months and months of learning and listening to help me see that this thing that I always saw as a dog, to quote Pastor Joy, is actually a cat. And that's an obscure quote from a message that Pastor Joy gave years ago. But we have really entrenched wrong understandings that have been reinforced. And we get those understandings from very thin sources, very thin. We hear one thing and we just grab onto it and say, yeah, that sounds good to me. And it gets hardwired into us. I have many examples of my own, but one was as an adult, I read one line in a novel about how Native Americans were always fighting and killing each other. And when we came to this country, we were just better at it. And I took that and ran with it in my head for years. I was uninformed completely about Native Americans and what colonizing did to them. And in my head, I washed it all away because of one line I read in a novel by Louis L'Amour. about, yeah, they were always killing each other. We had guns. So there you have it. Washing away the true nature of manifest destiny and the evil that was perpetrated by the church and other structures. Anyway, that's a personal example.
Well, and just thank you, David. And that just takes us back to this text. The pain between God's people and the Canaanites was as pronounced as what the pain is in our country currently. And I mean, you imagine yourself as a Canaanite with people that claim to be God and know God, slaughtering your children. That pain runs deep. So this conversation with this Canaanite woman, we just can't preach it away about demon possession. The hatred and what was going on between them is just profound. And what's great about it is that Jesus flips the coin right there and says, you're a woman and you are the one. And she becomes the teacher actually to the disciples. And we're going to take a look at some other passages. We're going to take a look about where Jesus, in future episodes, Jesus is going to take them on a specific journey. And we can see it in the text because he's trying to get them to see these marginalized, Gentile, unclean people. He's going to try and humanize them to the disciples. If you have any questions for us, please, again, write them in the comments below. We're going to be back together, this group, and we're going to answer your questions. And Anthony's going to have some questions for us. I want to thank you all, my friends, for not just carving out this time, but what you've done in my life and what you keep doing in my life. I'm not going to be the same person without knowing you, and I'm indebted to Christ because of your influence in my life.